we are never truly lost. Well, okay, sure, maybe we get turned around for a few days in the woods, where life just feels like it's getting the best of us, and everything's going wrong. And I'm Mike Martin, and I've stood right where you're standing, lost, beaten down, like nothing's ever gonna change. And that's why I built this camp. And that's why I'm inviting you to join me and all the members of this wild community. Because you know what, friend? It does get better. So come along with me into the wild and let me show you this awesome, unique skill set that lays within inside of you. With help from the land, we're going to unlock the steward that's inside each and every one of us that will lead the way out of the darkness and into healing. Here at the Camp of Healing on Project Mindfully Outdoors.
How do you become the best version of yourself? That's a question that we all seem to struggle with. In fact, maybe it's the single most perplexing question that we have, as human beings, have had to face. Because locating the best version of ourselves isn't found on any map. There's no destination that we can just turn and drive to. We actually have to lace up the boots and walk the trails, both the ones that are paved and unpaved, through the trees of the high grounds, and even through the muck of the lowlands. We have so much to do in the field of self-introspection in order to truly understand just who we are. We have to learn. We have to understand. We have to find reasoning and even compassion in order to make decisions and whether to hold on to things or to let them go. We have to even invite new people into our world and learn to say goodbye to those whose time is come. It's about discovering what fuels your fire, what adds to the drive to prevent it from ever dying out. Most importantly, it's about holding on to a dream, even in times of uncertainty. These are the things that brought so many people through the Cumberland Gap during the uncertainty of times of war and the hardness of trying times. They clung to the dream of a better and more stable way of life. It was that dream that inspired them to load up their wagons and head out into the first and most difficult pass that laid ahead of them, facing both the danger of nature and even raiding Native American parties. While only the record of time truly knows how many were lost to the wilderness road, for those who survived the 208 miles of dirt that stood between where they started and where they would end up, the reward was a substantial one. They found that they were greeted by fresh, new, and inspiring lands in which they could work to build those things that dreamed and made them make that trek. Because it was those dreams that filled the nightly fires along the trek that kept them warm and pushed those wagons forward in the midst of rain, sleet, snow, and even warm, hot, and cold days. And it's a legacy that can be felt even today within the world that we live. Because those pioneers, they instilled a lesson within our hearts and our minds that in order to achieve the best way of life, you have to be open, you have to be willing to learn, and you have to push forward when you feel like you're in a space that has you stuck. Because only in that space, the ground is not fertile in order for your dream to grow. When you expand and you move beyond where you're stuck and where you stand, you find fertility that will help those dreams to grow. But it was during those ages of unrest and expansion that brought forth one of the most powerful reminders that was ever put into the space of the human mind. And it helps now, in this world that we live today, to keep our eyes on the fire that fuels our dreams. Because when Dragging Caones gave a speech opposing his father's plans, in that speech, Dragging Caones spoke of the way that whole nations had melted away like balls of snow before the sun, as almost a metaphor that can teach and show us how each one of us have our own independent nation within. And that nation is the home of hopes and dreams. Our goals are what govern our choices. And the data that we pick up along the way is what helps us to make those informed choices that lead to the dreams that we inspire ourselves to reach. However, that comes on the cloudy edge of a double-bladed sword. Because over time, all those choices that we make, both good and bad, they add up. They have an impact on our journey. So we must consider this in our decision-making process as we stay on course, blazing a trail to reach the peak of our true potential. Because it's also very easy to get stuck in the mud. So we must be leery of each path that we uncover. Because those ones that leave us stuck are the ones that make us at risk to melt away like a ball of snow in the sun. It's the ones that are never easy that we must choose. Because the path that comes with zero resistance is the path that never challenges you and never inspires you to fully uncover that potential within that leads to the succession of the dreams that you've set out to achieve.
Today's episode is brought to you by the leaders in outdoor innovation, the Sun Corporation. Everything from compasses to carabiners. Sun Corporation has got the gear that you need in order to hit the trails with confidence this fall. Listen, we all know big discoveries is the name of the game and why we go into the outdoors, and that's why you got to check them out. They carry a full line of everything that you need to add to your backpack, from navigation all the way to survival, and even some really cool innovative gadgets. They got you covered, man, with the tools that won't let you down when you need them the most. And right now, our listeners get to enjoy some exclusive savings from the Sun Corporate Company. When you place your order today, you can enjoy a full 20% off site-wide. That's every product under the umbrella of the Sun Company, just by using promo code Project20. So visit thesuncompany.com and use Project20 to add the power of confidence to your next adventure.
Hey friend, it's Mike. And as we wrap up today's episode, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to the podcast and being a part of this camp. And I hope that you're finding value within the time that you spend with us. I'd love to invite you over to projectmindfulloutdoors.co, where you can sign up for the newsletter, which is jam-packed full of special meditations such as the one you just listened to, tips and tricks to help you further your adventure in the wilderness, along with cool updates and things that I experienced along the journey. You know, there's never any spam, and you can cancel at any time, so swing over, check it out, as well as everything else that's on the website. And until then, get out there in the wild. That's where the stillness and the adventure lies. See ya.